this track has always been known for. You get too high up on that bank and you're just going to end up going into that wall. So you really got to play that game of, you know, how close can we get to it? It's almost like a limbo game, but with your bumper, as Victor Alves hopefully will show us here as he gets nice and in there, almost touching that bumper to the wall as he transitions down the hill and into this outer zone, putting it right on the white line. Drivers have been getting that all day, putting it exactly where it needs to be there, but this is where it matters. Let's see if he can grab that inside clip and gets it nice and inside there as he turns on the lights right as he comes across the line.
Impact, yes. Yeah. Oh, look at there, a 94.7 for Victor.
Wow.
And I think he's going to hold the 88. Yeah, he certainly does. Very good job by Oliver after that 0. Here's Victor Alves for his second run of the day and throwing it in there. Looking very similar to Yakoi. You can see it is a remake of Yakoi's car and looking fantastic. Grabbing that second inside clip and throwing it out there for the touch and go. Trying to reel it back in for that inside clip. He does just that. Cuts on the lights once again at the end and finishes it out. I think you're right on that. Yeah. Before the Celica, he drove a little 8.6.
But here we go. Our battle is here. We have Victor Alves in that D-Max S15 in the lead lane, and Kazuki Fukushi in the Linglong Tires Toyota Celica. And off the line they go. Victor Alves out front. Good initiation by Victor Alves. Nice and high up on the bank. Starting to build a gap from Kazuki. But as they come off the bank, Kazuki's starting to build his ground back. Bumper touching as they transition into the outside zone. Victor doing a great job to keep it there, but look at the pressure coming on from Kazuki now, getting right up to the door as they transition to the touch and go. Again, giving them a little love tap there as they come through that inside clip and across the line.
Yeah, he certainly touched him in that chase position.
And now they're switched around. Kazuki Fukushi in the Linglong Tires Toyota Celica out front. Victor Alves in that D-Max S15 giving chase. Nice and high up on the bank goes Fukushi. Good angle too, but right there is Victor Alves. They transition through that inside clip and into the outer zone. A little bumper touch there from Victor Alves, just the same as the previous run. But look at the proximity and the power that they are putting on each other as they come through that touch and go. And now Victor really trying to close that door and make sure he's side by side, giving a little headlight flash there at the end.
Here we go, left for Victor, right for Kazuki. Tons of support for Victor in the chat. And there it is, Victor is gonna get the win and move on to the top 16.
Victor takes the win on that occasion. It's just really, that comes down more than anything to the chase position. We just felt that there Victor was just much more aggressive from the word go. Just kept right up on the door and just was aggressive the whole way through. Unfortunately, Kazuki just couldn't quite keep up through the bank line with Victor, which caused separation, and then from there had to make a dive to catch up. Does well, catches up by 3, but unfortunately at that point, on the reverse run, Victor was already well within that same proximity, so just much cleaner chase overall.
All right, and they are ready to go. Victor Alves in that D-Max S14, and Adriel Machado giving chase as they initiate onto that bank. Nice and high is Victor Alves, but right with them is Adriel Machado as they come into that outer zone. Oh, and a really inside line there, trying to get that proximity from Victor Alves, or from Adriel Machado, as they transition into that outside touch and go. And now the proximity really starts to come from Adriel as he really pushes onto the door of Victor as they cross the line. Yeah, now they're back at the top, and now Adriel Machado will give his lead run with Victor Alves giving chase. Adriel getting ready, coming down the straight and initiating in. Nice and high up on that bank. Victor right there, but almost not the same angle as they come down and grab that inside clip, beautifully transition into the outside zone. And right there, Victor is getting onto the door of Adriel as he turns on the headlights when they come through that inside clip. Now grabbing that touch and go, Victor is really putting on the pressure to Adriel as they come across that line.
Yeah, he's certainly
these
top.
Yep. Yeah, these top 16 just don't stop and press it.
They really don't. They're only going to get better, and there they go, sliding left for Victor Alves. See what that last judge goes with, and he goes with Victor Alves as well. So we'll see from the judges on why they went that way.
Okay, Victor takes the win there. Lead to lead, they are really genuinely both really good lead runs, especially coming through 5 into 6 there, guys. You both did beautifully there. It's just then chase to chase. Victor just starts out just up on the bank that little bit closer, maintains that proximity all the way down through. Unfortunately, Adriel was a little bit lower on the bank and then coming into 2 as well. And then he had made the gap up by 3, but obviously on the reverse of that, Victor doesn't make the same mistake. So great battle, but just going to Victor.
Have it from our judges. Reese Tatterson will go on to take on Pontus Jakobsen in the final 4, as now our next battle of the grade 8, Victor Alves and Alexander Holsner, as Victor's up front in that D-Max S15. Really good job on the initiation there. Nice and good proximity as they come into this outside zone. Good job around that, but look at Alexander Holsner again, not letting up, not letting them get away as they transition to that touch and go. Here we go, try and get on that door as Alex is trying to do, finding his angle perfectly and side by side across the line.
Yeah, they certainly were.
And now they're back at the start line, ready to do battle once more. Alexander Holsner out front now in that Volvo, and Victor Alves giving chase. Initiating in is Alexander. Oh, and a touch on the guardrail, almost straightening out Alexander, but Victor doing a great job to stay behind him and keep in drift as they continue going through this course. And there's Victor starting to really put the pressure on, almost a few taps, so not giving him enough room for the transition as he starts to dive in now for that inside clip, but Victor is all over him.
There we have it left for Victor Alves, and there they already go. Chris, Matt, and Ed. Victor Alves will get the win.
Okay, Victor takes the win there. Commendable chase from Alexander. Has a bit of a sort of shaky chase on the bank, but then throughout the rest of that run does really, really well. Unfortunately, on the reverse of that, Alexander just meets the wall just a little bit too hard and does a really good job to keep hold of it, but at that point, obviously, that gives a big advantage to Victor, and then the rest of the run, Victor ties it back up, gets back on the door, and also credit to Alexander, he gets back in it, but obviously at that point, damage is done, advantage to Victor, Victor takes the win.
Victor Alves in that D-Max S14. And Alexander Element in the Origin Labs S14 as they initiate in. Good initiation from Victor. Look at that. Alexander mimicking the angle perfectly as they transition down into that inside clip. Now into the outside zone. Alexander putting the pressure onto Victor. Look at that. The proximity. They look like just they're mirrored together as they transition to the touch and go. Alexander really just putting it on him now, wanting to push him around the track as they cross the line. What a battle. And now we flip them around. Alexander Element out front and Victor Alves giving chase as Element initiates in. Good job getting up on that bank. Ooh, lots of left foot brake as he came through it, but doesn't disrupt Alves any as they transition into this outside zone. Alves putting on the pressure as well, just like Element was, as they transition again to that outer touch and go. And look at the proximity now as Alves just right up on the door as they come across the line.
So here they are, slide left for Victor Alves, right for Alexander Element.
Okay, so Alexander Element gets that for us. There was just a couple of little things in Victor's chase that decided that one. Victor was slightly shallower on the bank, and also coming into 3 as well. There's a slight wobble, but it was very, very close. And also we felt that Alexander was able to angle match a little bit better, and that gave him a slightly more aggressive looking chase. But it was, very, very fine margins. Really, really close battle there. Thank you, guys.
All right, so now we have our third place battle coming at you right now. Victor Alves in the lead position against Pontus Jakobsen. Both these guys have had a mega drive today, so let's send it out good. High up on the bank is Victor Alves, but there's Pontus like he's been all day, already on the back bumper. Now good into that outside zone. Pontus trying to get up on that door and close that proximity before he has to back out for the transition and get into that touch and go. And now, oh, a big hit there as he tries to keep on the door of Victor Alves, and across the line he goes. And now they're back at the start line, ready to go again. Pontus is now out front, and Victor Alves is ready to do chase. As the screaming rotary of Pontus gets up on that bank, but there's Victor closing him in already, even going a little higher on the bank as they transition into that outer zone. And now right on the white line is Pontus, but look at that proximity from Victor as they transition now to that touch and go, and already putting the pressure on him. A little tap there as he gets on the door and across that line.
There you have it. Slide left for Victor Alves, right for Pontus Jakobsen.
And as I was mentioning earlier about the thumbs up animation, Victor actually has it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if his driver is doing that, but there it is. Left for Victor Alves. Victor Alves gets the win for the third place. He'll take home a podium win today, round 2.
Bravo to Victor.
Victor takes the win there. Lead to lead, they're both really solid jobs. Full marks to Pontus there on that second run. I imagine he was probably aware that he had a slight disadvantage going into that, and to his credit, just goes for max points run. Does come a little bit shallow on bank, and then also does miss out on clip 5 a little bit, but fair play to him, putting down a good show there for the end. It's just then chase to chase. Pontus just makes a little error on the bank, which ends up him being a few sort of, a little bit low on the bank, should we say. Then his car, 2 cars back, gets it back together though, and is back on it, but it's on the reverse of that. Victor is just on the door from the word go and does a really, really convincing job the whole way through. Does lose a little bit of ground coming through off clip 3 into 4, but again, that little RX-7 is clearly very fast there, and Victor does a great job buttoning it back up, coming into that last little sector, and great battle, third place. Well done to Victor.